Hey, hello everyone. I'm back with another ASO audit video. For full context, I posted another time to on the App Store Optimization Reddit community for indie developers to request an ASO audit from me. The last time I did this, I got more than I think 30 applications, and I had to select five. I'll do something similar today. Right now, there are around 26 people in this list, and before starting this video, I filtered down to it. The reason why I filter down in these videos is that it's firstly, of course, very hard to make to audit 30 videos, and you'll see the length of this video will be around 5 to 7 minutes for each app. So 30 apps would be like a 3 hour long video, which is too inefficient. So I'll try to break up in the future to cover more apps, but the reason why I also filter apps is once I look at the listing, I kind of get a sensing of where is the opportunity, where is the gap, and then where can it be applied. So let's say I see patterns between one app having like a metadata issue, one app having a listing graphical issue, one app having issues with like their app quality, like their ratings and the reviews. So then we can kind of like apply the same learnings to other apps. So that's my thinking, that um, doing 30 videos is not possible, but at least we can use the same learnings that are shared for the five apps that I do, but then they can be extended to multiple apps if the viewer watches the full video. So that's the concept. I will be using this platform that I have developed called the Grow ASO. There's an ASO audit tool in this, and I'll also be using other features while showing you how you can actually audit an app. So let's first start with the first app today. Sorry, I just clicked on the wrong link. It's called HabitStock. It's a habit tracking app, and at the first glance, it looks like let's start with the listing. I think the focus is strongly driven for the habit tracker keyword. There is clearly a duplicate, so that is not helping, which I'll come to that in a little while. But let's first look at the app icon and the screenshots. The app icon seems to me something very generic and more like a brand logo. I think you should really strive to develop an icon that goes to show what a habit tracking app is doing. So that's one thing. Second thing, when you look at the screenshots, they are very clean and clean and nice. But the thing that I think you can consider is adding a preview video. What's specifically for this app HabitStock, it could be relevant because this is a unique concept. Habit tracking is a cluttered category, as you know. Within this, you're trying to create a unique concept where the user can track their progress through something like a personal stock chart, right? That's what I get from looking at this listing. So if that can be made into a short video that explains it, I think that could do really well. It doesn't have to be something very complicated or expensive to make. It can really just be a demo video showing how the user progresses through that journey and how that the experience is compared to another habit tracking app. So that could be really helpful, and I'll explain why that also can be very helpful for non-ASO reasons later. So let's look at the listing first. Let's start with the listing. Let's start with this. So yeah, I just inputted this listing into the tool, and it'll start analyzing some of the things. So first thing, of course, is like I already saw over there, the habit tracker words. This main keyword is being repeated here, which is inefficient. The duplicates are not really helping you. And of course, this is the US listing in which habit tracker is appearing after. So if you see, this is the UK listing GB, where the habit tracker is in front, which will be helping, I think, and which usually helps. That's an ASO best practice, that a brand name should come at the last, especially for like newish apps, indie apps. So you can replicate that for the US as well. That's a good thing. But at the same time, you have to be mindful that this keyword is extremely competitive. Now, if I scroll down, it will be doing these things later, so I can show it to you a bit later. But I know for a fact that habit tracker, the keyword, has good traffic but very high difficulty. So you won't be able to rank for it as is, even if you place it in the front. So what do you do, to find those keywords is one thing. And you can look at a database, which I can just pull up and try to see. But let's first look at some of the other elements of the ASO audit. The ratings and reviews are not doing pretty good. There are basically no reviews, it seems like, in the US. There's also no localization, so there's a lot of room for expanding your into non-English speaking markets, which can be actually easier to rank for than, let's say, US, UK, where there's ton of habit tracking apps. That could be a differentiator. But again, coming back to my point on the preview video, if you remember, my thesis, if I was developing this app, if I owned this app, would be to diversify my download source. Habit tracking is a very competitive niche. We will try to find some keywords in this database, but the fact of the matter is that this is a niche which is extremely cluttered. So what becomes important is to try to find either like keywords that are really really white space, right, like low difficulty, or try to diversify your downloads outside of organic search. So that's something that we can try. At least I can see if there are some habit related keywords in this database. Just to give you some context, this is a database where there are around 50,000 keywords inside Grow ASO, and you can actually just see a lot of different specific keywords for your use case. So for instance, I used habit as my keyword search, and I came up with some of these. So if you see, there are quite a few keywords. There are around 96 keywords split across US, UK, and Canada right now, and they have things like habit breaker, bad habit tracker, reminders for healthy habits. These kind of keywords will be easier to rank for than a pure habit tracker keyword, which is very visible here finally, right? The traffic is good. 5.5 is a really good popularity score, but the difficulty is 7.4, and that reflects in the ranking. So try to look for keywords that are lower in difficulty. Try to rank for them higher. Try to keep tracking that. Focus on localizations. Improve a lot on the graphical elements of your listing. There's a lot of room to improve that. And when you do that, I think a lot of your conversion rate will start to improve. Your keyword coverage will improve. Your localizations will help you rank in non-English markets. So get that ball rolling. Start getting some ratings and reviews. So it's not going to be easy to build up the organic ranking for an app like this. It's a very competitive one, but it's not impossible if you follow the steps, if you keep pushing at it. And I think really consider diversifying your download source. That can really help you. So that's going to be my recommendation for the first app. Let's go to the second one. It's called Wordacify, and I picked it up because it's a bit more unique. It's a word game. I typically have not done games in my audits so far, but I wanted to pick this up just to diversify that element. So the good thing is, starting off, the title and subtitle seem to be optimized. There are not a lot of duplicates. There is play repeated, but I think that's okay. I don't think that's a big issue. What you can definitely do, like I explained in the previous audit, is you can shift these non-brand words to the front. That can help. That can help boost the ranking for some of these. The ratings and reviews, again, it's a new app. It's okay to not have a lot, but that's something that you really need to keep driving. Try to not incentivize, try to push users to review when they have some kind of a happy journey in your app. Let's say they win a game, let's say they complete a level, or they upgrade a level. Try to do that. Good thing here is that you have already focused on localizations, so there's not a lot of room to grow. I mean, there are like many other languages that you can tap into, but it seems like you're already doing quite a few of them. So good start on that. That's something that typically indie developers miss. Another thing is the description. I think the description is not well optimized at this point. And again, you need to find words that can potentially, keywords that can potentially go inside it. So I can try to find some for you. Let's say for word puzzle games free, crossword. Some of these are, a bit more non-direct. So there's around 23 word puzzle related. Let me see, just puzzle. There are some brain puzzle, logic. These are a bit more generic puzzle related keywords. Let's see only word again, if there are some keywords that could be relevant for you. And you can also filter by traffic here, so you can actually just look at, let's say, a minimum of 1.5, which is a 15 popularity score for iOS, right? Word puzzle, word games for free seems like one, because it's common for UK and Canada, so that's one thing. Word cookie, it's not really relevant. Word guess might be something a little. I think this one is, yeah, this one is not yet there. Word guess is not there. And if you see some of the keyword rankings for this app, um, of course the keywords that it's right now targeting are roughly like very low in traffic. Even though it's ranking highly, it won't be getting any downloads out of it, so ultimately it's not really helping. So yeah, in terms of at least the metadata, try to reposition your keywords in front. Find more relevant rankable keywords, because a lot of them are very low traffic, so at least try to find some that can be driving traffic even if you rank for them. Right now, even if you rank for these keywords, you won't get any traffic out of them. And description, like, yeah, try to improve on the description. I think it's really short. It is not indexed directly by the App Store, but it's indexed by Google and LLMs. So you could potentially get a boost and some visibility going through that. And when I come to the listing, this is also something that I wanted to talk about. I don't think that this icon is very high converting. I don't know the data itself, but just looking at it, I think you will be seeing a lot of drop-offs in the sense that people might be seeing it in the results and they might not be attracted to click on it, or if they click on it and then they're not very attracted to like actually download it, which is also dependent upon how the screenshots look like. So these two elements, focus on that. I think you are losing downloads on the table by not having an optimized icon and not having a very clean set of screenshots. There's quite a bit of text on these screenshots, so I think try to focus on cleaning it up. Maybe focus on 3 or 4 words for the title of the screenshot. My personal preference would even be to straighten up these devices so that the user can see the screen directly right in front of them rather than it being tilted. So yeah, improve the icon, improve the screenshots, the positioning and the layout, and try to find additional keywords. Optimize the title, and yeah, just keep going at it. I think conversion rate improvements and metadata improvements will help you start getting more downloads. So that's for the second app. Let's go to the third one. The third one is a fishing journal. And let's start with the listing. Let me do one thing to make it a bit more efficient. Let me also put it into the analysis so that the keyword analysis aspect is happening in parallel. So let's start with the graphical element of this listing. I really like the icon. I think it's super clean, super easy to understand what it does, because this denotes that it's a document. This denotes, of course, that it's a fishing related document. Good thing is that you've already placed, I think this is your main keyword already at the front of the title, so you're getting the basics right. Similarly, for the screenshots, they look very clean and professional. The color scheme matches very well with the app's theme. The titles are, it is a bit wordy as you go along, but I think it's not a huge issue because most people still see the first 3 or 4. They won't all be scrolling to the end, so I think it's fine. There's not a lot of things that you particularly need to improve there. What you can, of course, always do is you can try to experiment with reordering them. So, let's say you can order this fourth or fifth or sixth screenshot in the front. That can help. That can really help sometimes, because it's possible that, let's say, this part might not be high converting, but these might be more relevant for the user searches. So you'll have to do some experiments on this. Also, feel free to experiment a little bit with the icon. Even though it looks clean and descriptive of what the app does, there's always things that you can find to improve. So don't shy away from experimenting. Sometimes even the simplest of experiments can really yield really good results. So let's go to the listing itself. So the first thing is that the character limit is not being fully optimized in this title. So the first two apps didn't really have that big an issue, but here around 7 characters are missing. So what you can really do is find, again, keywords that are relevant here. So for example, log, right? Like log is something that, just as an example, but it's a very relevant keyword for your case, right? It's a journaling tracking app for fishing. Logging is an important element of that. So that could go here, and that puts a lot of weight. Like the keywords in the title have the most weight out of all the fields that are available in the App Store. So consider maxing this out as much as possible. In the subtitle, you have quite a few things here, but the only thing I would mention is that err on the side of not making it too heavy on keywords also. This right now, it's, yes, on from on paper, it is like well optimized, right? Like you max out the limit, but at the same time, this looks like a keyword soup, what you would say, right? Like it's not too easy to read. Catch log, comma, fish tracker, comma, logbook, right? It's just something that, yes, and a machine would like to read, but would a human like to read it? Like if you were, let's say, reading it, like maybe you might feel like this app is not a very professional app. So this is like a counterintuitive recommendation. You could potentially make it a bit cleaner here. That's just my personal preference. I would not make it so full of keywords. So that's just a recommendation I have. And you never know, it might actually boost your conversion rate also. Like some people may be dropping off because they think what I'm thinking. They might find it a bit strange to have so many things written in a wall of text. So that's something. When we scroll down into the localizations, you're focusing right now only on two markets, so there's a lot of room to grow. Fishing is a hobby globally, so I don't see any reason why this can't be grown. So there's a huge opportunity ahead of you to actually grow the localizations for it. It's a relatively newish app. It's been launched a few months ago, so it's still a good job that you've gotten 14 ratings, and that means that you have a few thousand downloads already. So try to keep working on that. I think that's going to help you. The description, same recommendation as I gave before. Max it out as much as possible. You don't have to go the full 4,000 for the description, but at least try to be near the 3,000 plus ish mark, because having that edge over competition in Google can really help, because having an additional source of downloads can really be beneficial. Don't rely only on App Store search. Diversify to LLMs, diversify to the organic search. So coming to the keyword selection, I think, as we see, similar to what we've seen so far, in the other apps, most of the ones that the app is ranking for are very low in traffic. Actually, even fishing journal, which I thought was the main keyword, is only 0.5 in traffic. So even though it's ranking at number 3 for it, it's not really a keyword which is of high traffic potential. So then obviously you need to find new keywords. So let's see if there's something that I could find for fishing. I'm always like, I don't know if there will be. Okay, cat goes fishing. I'm fishing life. Okay, fishing life looks interesting. Fish games, monster fishing simulator. There are around 80 keywords in total, but you'll have to sift through a little bit. Like base fishing, like that might be interesting. Fishing frenzy, that might be more of a game thing. So yeah, you'll have to sift through some more keywords. I think there is scope to actually improve on that keyword selection part. I think overall conversion rate wise, you are likely okay, but the metadata is the one that has room. So that's going to be the recommendation that I have. The fourth app is Flagsy. I picked this app because I am a huge fan of like geography. I as a kid, I really like to map flags with their capitals, and it was just fun for me. And so when I saw this app, I was like, there's this hidden bias that I really need to select it. So I've picked it up, and it is already doing some good things. If you see, one of the recommendations I gave at the start of this video was for the developer to have a preview video, and Flagsy already has that. So this is really good. I think this is very this is the best way to actually explain what the app does. So just a good job with that. I am honestly not a huge fan of the line art icons, but I think they do their job still. So that's just a personal preference. Maybe you can test it out. You can maybe split test with the different countries. You can change the flags, the countries inside these flags. You can play around with the colors. A lot of those things can really help you. And the good thing is that the nature of this app is such that when you localize the icon, you can localize it to the market. Like, let's say you are targeting, let's say, US customers, you could change this to Mexico or Canada, which are more nearby, or like European countries. Try to do some like analysis of what are the countries that the users what are the countries of your where users are located, and which countries they are using in this app. That can be really interesting, right? To boost the conversion rate. So that's something that I just came up with right now, and I think that could be helpful to you. Um, it's and yeah, apart from that, in the screenshots, clean screenshots, I do think that there's space wasted though. Like there's a lot of empty space in these. I think these are good examples. So maybe try to increase the amount of space you using. The text is clean, the text is simple to understand, but just try to max out some more space to not make it so empty. Looking at the metadata, yeah, I think the same thing that I recommended before. Move this in front. Flagsy can come at the end. This will help you increase your ranking for some of these keywords, and while it is happening, I can imagine that these keywords will be a bit tough to rank for, so it will only help you move this around. The good thing here is that you are already targeting quite a bit of keywords, like geography quiz, capitals, flags, offline. I know what you're trying to do, right? Good job with that. And I think that's fine. I think that's a good sign. Also has 20 ratings, decent, but needs more. Which so this will keep happening. It's a new app, so it'll keep happening. English localization is the surprising part, though. This part is surprising. I think you should try to expand to more languages. Um, just given the nature of the app, someone who's using your app is typically someone who's also more globally minded, or like interested in other cultures, other countries, has like more of a diverse opinion, right? So having that localization insight can be really helpful. And in terms of the description, I would suggest that also improve the keyword coverage there. When I start looking at the keywords, so yeah, most of them are 0.5. Now this one came up as 2.2, which is decent, but the ranking is only 186, which is expected because it is a bit of a tough keyword to rank for. The difficulty is almost at 4ish at this point. So first thing you could do is move this in the front and move Flagsy at the end and see what the impact on the ranking is. um, I don't imagine you overnight changing to, let's say, top 20, which could help in the downloads, but at least it will be better than this. Then also obviously try to max out some of the other words that you might not be fully utilizing right now, like this 1.3 world capitals keyword. It looks interesting, but it's only ranking at 59 for it, which is because the capitals comes here. So if you're okay with removing Flagsy, which you can actually move capitals here, which will again give it a fill up. So it's always a trade-off, right? Having the brand name and having keywords, but I think in your case, at this stage of the app, it might be interesting. And let me see if there are any more interesting keywords that you could look at. There are around 194, so maybe I will search map, and maybe that's a bit more. Is there any? I mean, there's quite a few, but it's, how do I see? Is there any world map related keyword? Okay, world map quiz. This could be one. I think this is a long tail keyword which is not fully captured here. World geography quiz, maybe it's not here, at least in this list, but world map quiz could be something that you could potentially look at. I can look at the analyze feature for this to see the top ranking apps for this, if that helps. World map quiz. This is an interesting one, I think. Yeah, so world map quiz. There is one which uses it directly. Let me just do a quick search. World map quiz. So there's one. So in the top 25, there are only 2 apps using it directly. So you might actually have a good chance of ranking for this. So I think play around with this database. You can potentially find a lot of interesting keywords here. And you can always filter down to different traffic and difficulty scores to find them. So those are some of the recommendations I will make for this app. And lastly, Clearwave. As before, let me first put it in here, make it efficient, and look at the listing. I really like the listing here, actually. I remember seeing this and I was like, this is kind of like a good practice to show to other developers. The icon is very clean, and it denotes what the app does. I know that there could be ways to make it a bit more descriptive. and you can experiment with that, but it's a good start. I really like the one thing about the screenshots that you're highlighting social proof. Although I think the font might be a bit too hard to read, so that's something that you can improve upon. What I really liked were these four, and this is why I would actually recommend moving these to more in the front, like maybe making this the second, third, something like that, because this I think is decent, but at the same time it doesn't look as as attractive to me personally as a user. I mean, for your ratings and reviews, I can always scroll down, right, in the App Store. I think what you can do is you can focus more on educating about the features here, split test everything, move them around, and I think what you will find is that you will be able to most likely have a better conversion rate, and obviously within these choose the feature which your users are using the most. So that's the first thing. In terms of the listing itself, yeah, the good thing is that you are targeting four main keywords very properly. One, two, three, four. So anyone who's watching this, like, take a leaf from this. Really good practice. Second thing really being done well is the localizations, maxed out completely, like 33 localizations. So great job. There is some room for improving the ratings though. I don't know why it's below 4.7. Ideally, you should try to have it above 4.7. It already has 41, so it's decent, but there is room to grow this. It's a relatively recently updated app, but it's been a while since it's been there, like around a year plus. So it'll only keep helping you as time goes on. When the app gets older, you'll start to get even more benefits from the ASO boost. The description has more room. It's still better than some of the others that I reviewed at the start of this video, but 2,500 characters still means that there is some room. And when I look at the keyword rankings, it's a similar story, but it's obviously a bit better off because it's a more established app. Good thing is that for the main keyword, clear wave, it's already at number 16. So that's a good thing. How do you break into the top 10 for it? What you could experiment with is in the hidden keywords field. I mean, the one that is not publicly available, right? The 100 characters keywords field. You can put clear wave directly at the start. Sometimes that helps. Secondly, you can repeat it in a cross localization. US keywords are US indexes keywords across like Spanish, Mexico, and many others, which you probably have done already through these cross localizations. So do that as well. And I think maybe I can just look at that if you're already doing MX. No, okay, MX came up with is a proper Spanish listing. So you can consider doing cross localizations as your next step. And second thing could be, just I think maybe prioritizing some of the higher traffic keywords like Clearwave, yes, but speaker cleaner might be some also a good candidate to be repeated. Water eject and liquid remover aren't really high traffic, right? Water eject, is it here? Not here. Liquid remover, not here also, but yeah, I think definitely you can focus on these two more in the cross localizations. The audit score is definitely better off than the others, so good job with that. Yeah, so overall improve a bit on the listing, cover more keywords, move more on with the screenshots, find some more interesting keywords, like maybe is there anything that is relevant? There are quite a few. There are quite clean speaker cleaning and some keywords here. So there could be ways that you can improve your keyword coverage. So continue doing that. Otherwise, it's in really good shape, your listing. So that's all for this video. I think I enjoyed making this video as always. Always really cool to see the apps that are being published. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If you want another audit, just let me know. And you can also just use this tool for free. The first audit in my platform, growaso.com, is completely free. So just use it. You will find interesting ideas and rooms to improve for your app. So keep working hard on these apps, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.